Generation Alpha might be more disrespectful than kids in the past. But is that the case, or are they just living in totally different worlds where speaking up and asking questions is fairly encouraged? Let's dive in and find out. So let's start by understanding what makes Gen Alpha unique. Unlike previous generations, these kids are growing up with technology at their fingertips. For example, smartphones, telephones, and even the internet as part of their daily life, even at school. And this constant access to information means they know a lot more of the world they live in, and they are more comfortable sharing their opinions. Some experts like Dr. Catherine Noel say that this behavior isn't about being rude or being disrespectful. Instead, these kids are used to questioning things and speaking their minds out. They live in a world where different options are everywhere, and when they say no or question an adult, it doesn't mean they want to be rude or disrespectful, but it's just a way of them saying why does it have to be that way. Family therapist Carrie Owen points out that Gen Alpha's confidence is something we can learn from. She believes that their willingness to express themselves comes from many perspectives on the world they live in. By teaching Gen Alpha how to be more balanced with respect, I think it will be very good if they are very confident. The challenge for parents and teachers is to help these kids find that balance, how to be assertive without coming as arrogant, how to be confident without ignoring other options and people's feelings, and how to be respectful to others while being true to themselves. I think we might just be guiding them to become resilient adults. Now, because we've learned a bit about Generation Alpha, let's bring in someone who might know them for a while. Mrs. Sandy, as someone from IEC. Mrs. Sandy, as someone from an older generation, do you think that kids now are more disrespectful than kids in the early generations?
As a parent myself, I see the kids nowadays, they are not that disrespectful. I think they just lean more on the guidance from the internet. And then this guidance from the internet could have been modified by some people, and it is in more interesting form. So the kids find them more relatable to them. That's why parents' guidance is really in need in this situation. And yeah, and also parents need to learn also from the kids, and kids can also learn from their parents.
I agree. Mrs. Sandy, these kids are growing up with technology at their fingertips. Is that a good thing?
There is always two side things from something, right? So, but I suppose it's a good thing for our kids to learn more from the internet, and also parents there to guide them. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I think parents have to guide them. Finally, Mrs. Sandy, how do we help them become more resilient adults?
Back to the first statement of mine, we need to guide them. We are the guidance of how they live their life later, because anyway, people keep learning, as well as the parents also keep learning. So kids will learn more from the internet and also from their surrounding. We guide them.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Mrs. Sandy. It's always good to hear from different perspectives, especially on a big subject like this. I think Generation Alpha might be outspoken, but with the right guidance, I think it would be very positive if their confidence and their curiosity might be good for the future. Thanks for joining us this morning. I'm Nirmal Farwazli, signing off from IC News Studio. I hope you have an awesome day and see you again next time. Bye!
Hi Darren. Darren, I can only say that throughout your journey in this newscasting competition, if I have to compare, because we have been joining us since last year, today I am most impressed because I feel like you are getting more and more used to the situation in the newscasting room. This can be seen by the fact that you are not very fixated to your script, even though you provide us with a script, and most of your lines, what you're actually saying, they are different from the script, which means that you really master your news very well, the script. Okay? And that's very impressive. And And then, also what's impressive from your whole performance just now is during the interview. Well, of course, reading the news is not a problem anymore. I didn't really see any major problem, only that if there is anything to comment on, I think the speed, the pace, you can actually slow it down a bit. Slow it down a bit. Because when it's too fast, sometimes with your, I know that English is not your first language, and if you speak it too fast, sometimes it's not very clear what you're saying. Okay, but that's minor. That's minor. You don't have to worry so much about that. During the interview just now, what actually was impressive, you gave short response to Mr. Sandy's answer. Every time after Mr. Sandy answered your question, you agree, you nodded, and then you also yes, oh okay, like you understand. Okay, and then you emphasize on the answer. Also, it is the parents' guidance, something like that. And then you also have this gesture. So how to make the generation Alpha more respectful. It actually shows that you have a keen interest in the topic that you are bringing, in the questions that you are bringing. Alright? So overall, I am very, I would say that this whole performance is impressive. So I hope I could see I could see you again in the future for this kind of occasion. Yeah? And Mr. Ricky may want to have.
I think you've got such a great, fantastic power, and the projection was there. I think I was especially impressed by how when you open your news, you maintain the eye contact. It's quite a long one. I think memorizing it would be a challenge, but you managed to do it. I think during the opening, there's almost no time where you're looking at the script. So I think there's a level of preparation that was there, and that's really highly appreciated. Now, really love the smile also at the beginning. I felt like, it could be the pacing, but sometimes the enunciation could be a bit tricky to get. So for example, let's just take an example of this one line. We might be going now to become resilient, thoughtful adults. So it's the word resilient is a bit, I would say, it's a bit blurred, it's a bit hard for me to hear. So but maybe just the clarity of each word you mentioned. Some word can be a bit harder, so in that sense, you might want to speak a bit slower or also pay attention with the pronunciation. Also, when you're asking questions, great question session, by the way. I think it's a great thing there's a back and forth to just show you've got chemistry with those you're interviewing. Firstly, because once again, when we're looking at the camera's point of view, you don't want to obstruct too much, so you don't want to turn 90 degrees to those who are interviewing. So we only see half of your head. So you just turn a little bit off your body and then you ask a question. So that way it doesn't seem you're completely alienating the viewers as well. The question is very good, I love them. However, some of the question I feel could have been integrated with the content. This is not really something bad per se. I think this is something good. I feel like could have been improved even further. Because for example, your first question, as someone from an older generation, do you think that today's kids are more disrespectful than kids in the past? This is pretty much the same content with what Miss Dr. Catherine Noble said about behavior isn't being rude or disrespectful. So you could have just said, Mr. Sandy, according to Dr. Catherine, kids nowadays isn't being rude or disrespectful. Do you agree with this statement? So you're asking the same question, but with a bit more nuance and expert's opinion. And you could just keep this part, also making your content a bit shorter, easier for you to do. But that's just a very minor thing. It's just to make it much better. So I would say it's just to make good thing better. All right, thank you very much, though, Darren. Fantastic. I think there's lots of potential in you. All the best. I'm looking forward to see more of you in the future. Thank you. Good job.
You did a good job.